Welcome to your mini coaching session, and I want to just congratulate you once again for investing in your own personal transformation. So today, I want to offer you a promise that you can keep to yourself here in your mini coaching session, should you choose to accept. But I want to start with this notion that I talk about often with you, and that's you can't give to others what you don't give to yourself. Right? Meaning, if you can't receive a compliment, you might be giving compliments, but until you can receive them, you truly are unfamiliar with what it's truly like to be able to give a compliment fully and deeply. But the example I really want to double down on is this idea of promises, self-promises. And so many members of the Gratitude Slam or the Life on Your Terms group community that we have are really good at upholding promises to other people, but not to themselves. And I can speak personally firsthand that I know that used to be something I was awful at, was keeping promises to myself. So let's complete the statement from the standpoint of promises. You can't keep a promise to someone else if you don't keep them for yourself. Now, you might be keeping promises, but really, what's it going to be like to keep a promise to someone else when you can first offer them to yourself? That's sort of a rhetorical question for now, but right, what would life be like? What would be the quality of the promises you keep to others if you first can keep promises to yourself? And so, right, there's a conflict that occurs when it comes to ourselves because there's so many promises that I find I know I want to keep to myself, and so many promises that we want to keep to others that we're like, oh my God, what promises should I keep to myself? Being that there's so many promises I've made to others. So I know there's a lot you want to do for yourself. You're here watching this video. You're proving that you want to do more for yourself. So let's just do a little reflection exercise here first. In the comments section, how often do you break promises to yourself? Either never, sometimes, often, or maybe you have a fourth answer there. Again, let's be honest with yourself. How often are you currently breaking promises to yourself? So right now, I'm not a never, right? I'm not perfect. By far am I not perfect, but it's sometimes now, but it used to be often. I mean, 5-10 years ago, it was on the regular. So I want to give you a solution that came up and into my life the other day. As I was in the Life on Your Terms Live, that's the group coaching program, a member of the community who had gone through a massive amount of adversity in their life and had really learned some powerful lessons, said, the only moment promised is this one. I want to say that again. In fact, I want you to type it after I say it because it really hit me hard, and I've been thinking about it every single day since she said it. The only moment promised is this one. I'd like you to just type it out and hit return just to see what that's like to say for yourself. Look, we're in the last month of 2023. It's December in 2023. We probably walked into this year with a lot of promises to ourselves. We probably at the halfway point of the year when we did some self-reflective exercises, made some promises to ourselves. And so you might have some promises you want to keep to yourself. But I want you to consider this one promise if you're going to keep a promise to yourself. I'm not telling you have to. Just like you don't have to take your doctor's orders. And nor am I saying I'm a doctor. I'm just using it as an example of, I want you to consider making one more promise to yourself this year. And that promise is, consider a promise of living in this moment. And I don't mean this moment with me, but I do mean it now, right? Since the only moment promised to us is this one. I want you to consider making yourself a promise to yourself that for the rest of the month, you'll live in this moment. Not in the future, not in the past, to live in this one. Now, I'll explain what that means a little bit, because here's what I can tell you as I've been practicing it over the past week, this idea of wanting to live in the moment. So my first promise is you're going to get less done living in this moment. Living in the moment, living in the present, being with the person in front of you. But there's a caveat to that. what you will get done will be higher quality. Because when we're living in the past and the future and attempting to be in the present moment with the task or the person or the brainstorming or mindset that you're staying in, if you're not living in the present, it's not going to be a quality present, nor will it be a quality present that you give to others of your presence. So what you will end up with is more higher quality and less low quality moments, less low quality outcomes. And my goal for you as your coach is I want you to be remembered for someone who lives their life as art. An artist not in flow, not in the moment, creating is not creating art. They're exercising the craft, but they're not creating art. So here's the call for action that I want for you so that you can live your life as art more often and live in this moment, since it's the only moment promised, which means that's the only moment you have to create art. So here's what I want you to practice. Here's your call to action. When you're in a moment and you find yourself living in the past or the future, or not fully present for whatever reason, I want you to choose one of these two things. A, be here. Or B, excuse yourself from the moment you're in to get to the one you either want to be in or the one you need to be in. I know this is a complicated topic because we've been really conditioned, many of us, to live with what's going to threaten my survival, and I don't want you to feel in survival mode anymore. So in the comment section, let's forecast this. What's an upcoming activity that you want to choose to be in that moment? Are you going to be spending time with someone you care about? Are you going to have an important conversation with someone you don't have a lot of respect for? But what's a moment that's upcoming that you want to choose to be in that moment? Put it in the comment section. You don't have to get super detailed. You can use an emoji if you don't want to share the exact situation. But I just want you to put something down there so you've got to think about it and take action on it. And now what I want you to do is put inside the comment section, what's an activity or conversation you already know you're not going to be present for, you're not going to be in the moment for. So you can spot it and choose to either A, pivot back into that moment, or B, choose the next moment that you want to be present in. Now, choosing what the moment is for, choosing to be present for the only moment promised, which is this one, and the next one, and the next one when you're there, when you get there. That's what it's like to live a life on your terms. And it took me decades to finally figure that out and remove the guilt associated with, let me live in this moment right now. And when you do live a life on your terms, you will experience more inner peace and fulfillment. While, by the way, I know many of you enjoy serving, as I do too, while still honoring your responsibilities to those around you, your community, and humanity as a whole. Yes, you can do both, live life on your terms and serve those around you. I fully recognize this topic goes a lot deeper than this short mini coaching session. So I want you to keep the conversation going. And if you want to keep this conversation going, join me and the Gratitude Slam community on the Gratitude Slam and keep participating in our daily practices and our daily discussions. And if you have any questions about this topic, find me on social media and direct message me. Living with inner peace and fulfillment is a practice. Living in the present moment, which is the only moment promised to you, is a practice. I practice it every day and I fail often. But because I practice it every day, and because of so many people in the Gratitude Slam community and the Life on Your Terms group coaching are practicing it every day, I see myself and those in these groups living it more often, living a life on their terms more often, living inner peace and fulfillment more often. So you perfect what you practice. So if you commit to living life as practice, if you commit to living in this moment, the only moment promised to you, even if you know you're going to fail sometimes, type the word commit inside the comment section right now. I'm so grateful that I get to practice living life as art with you. And I get to practice living life as art and failing with you so that we're in it together. Thank you for allowing me in your life as your mindset and self-leadership coach. My name is Michael Ian Cedar. Ichigo Iche, my friends. Ichigo Iche.